Hello and welcome. This is David Harbour here, Regional Development Leader for eXp Realty. And if you're watching this, you are one of the many agents or brokers around the country that are trying to find out more information about eXp Realty. Who is eXp Realty? What is this agent-owned cloud brokerage? And so hopefully, if you give me roughly about 40 minutes, we're going to tell you everything about this dynamic company that is sweeping the nation. And so we're real excited. We've got people tuned in around the country that are going to be learning about this, but we've got a little presentation here, but it's truly, first of all, I want to thank you for your time. This is really going to change your paradigm look on the real estate brokerage model. eXp Realty is doing things unlike any other brokerage in the history of real estate. When we say that we're cloud-based, we are 100% cloud-based. And a lot of companies will say that they are, but I'll show you exactly what we're doing. And because of that, because of our model, our infrastructure, and the way that we support our agents, we are very low overhead. And because of that, we can pay our agents more, give them more tools, and give them more training. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen share here, and I have a presentation that I'm going to show you. And if at any time you have any questions, please chime in, but I'm going to do a screen share right here, and we'll get started. So first things first, introductions. As I said, my name is David Harbour. I'm the Regional Development Leader for eXp Realty. I'm a real estate professional. I've been for 20 years. And the reason why I say that is because I know that if you're watching this out there right now, you're in the real estate industry. And you've probably heard, the latest, greatest brokerage model out there. What I'm going to show you today is truly a paradigm shift in the way that real estate brokerages are run, and it's one of a kind. I was with RE/MAX for 12 years. Was fortunate enough to be attain their Hall of Fame status. I also had the fortunate ability or fun to be on HGTV. I was on a show called Get It Sold with Sabrina Soto, as well as Discovery Channel. And then in my previous business for 5 years, I actually worked in the NBA and NHL and had a short stint as an NFL player. So I say that because I want you to know I'm one of you. I'm a real estate professional, and I'm looking for companies that are really built for the future, one that can help me with my business, one that can help me with possibly a retirement plan. Not possibly. This company actually helps our agents through a variety of different revenue streams in their retirement. So eXp Realty is what we say the agent-owned cloud brokerage. And there's two words in there, agent-owned and cloud. Our company is not a franchise. We're not owned by any individual. We're a publicly traded company, and our agents actually own equity in the company. And as you sell things, you have the ability to earn stock. As you introduce agents to the company, you have the ability to earn stock. And so the really big shift in eXp compared to 99.9% of the brokerages out there is that we have a unique business model that allows agents to have incredible splits. They can actually earn stock in their company. I know at my previous brokerage, I didn't own anything. And when I was probably done with my selling career, that was it. They would don't let the door hit you in the backside. And then we also have the ability, if you introduce somebody to the company, whether in your local region, in your state, or anywhere in the country that eXp is, you actually earn revenue share based on their production. It's really, really incredible what's happening around the country with this. So, was saying that this is our founder and CEO, Glenn Sanford. Glenn came from Keller Williams, was a mega agent, had multiple teams in multiple states, and really was kind of a visionary as far as internet marketing and online lead generation. And what happened was he just said, listen, I don't need an office. That's the biggest overhead for most brokerages that most agents don't necessarily utilize now. And so how can we create a brokerage model that doesn't lose training, doesn't lose that connectivity or collaboration, but reduces the overhead so we can actually pay more and give them better tools? And so 7 years ago, he created eXp Realty, and it has taken off like wildfire. Here's a brief chart on showing exactly what is happening with this company. As you can see, in early 2010, we just had a couple of hundred agents. I came on roughly 2011. It was at that time that Inman News recognized Glenn as a visionary in real estate. And at the same time, this publication here, many of you may know it, the Trends Report, Stefan Swanepoel actually highlighted eXp Realty as one of the brokerage models of the future to watch. Now that was, gosh, we were probably only in 7 or 8 states at the time. I think we're in 43 states right now in Canada. We'll probably be in all 50 states by the end of the year. And something is happening across the country where agents are flooding to eXp because they're sick and tired of paying for things that they don't use at their current brokerage. They're sick and tired of not having anything at the end of the rainbow with their real estate career as far as equity or revenue share when they step away from real estate. Getting back to this chart here, this is when we actually became a publicly traded company. And this was a very pivotal point for this brokerage. Glenn basically said, listen, I want the agents to share in the success of what we're doing. And it was right around that time that Glenn took us public, and which means that every agent has multiple ways to actually earn equity. I can earn equity by just selling. Till we get to 16,000 agents, eXp Realty just gives you stock. I never had that in my previous brokerage. Another way is by capping. If I cap, I actually earn stock. If I'm actually an icon agent, and that's one of the things, if you're somebody who's a mover and shaker in your particular region, I want to talk to you because we have the ability to actually compensate you in stock for coming aboard eXp Realty, and I'll talk more about that later. And then we also have what is called a direct purchase program. So our agents can actually take a portion of their stock or their commission and buy stock at a 20% discount. So it's a real game changer. At this time, we started having a number of high-profile individuals come on. Brad Anderson, who came on from Zillow, who was their Director of Education and Global Outreach. Gene Frederick, who was a former KW recruiter, probably one of I think he was 4 out of the last 10 years, he was their #1 agent attractor, and decided, listen, I'm going to go with this company because I think that they're the future. And since that time, it has actually been a windfall. We are roughly at 4,000 agents right now, and as I mentioned, in 43 states in Canada, and it's just simply incredible growth. As far as some of the accolades that have gone on, I mean, Glenn was named by Swanepoel Power 200 a 4th consecutive year. As I mentioned, the Trends Report highlighted us as one of the brokerages of the future. Inman News named us one of the most innovative brokerages in the country. And this is just in the first 7 years. So a lot of things have happened. And you might be saying to yourself, well, I haven't heard of them. I haven't heard of eXp Realty in my market. Well, we're only 7 years old. Compared to a lot of the other brokerages who've been out there 20, 30, 40 years, we have made tremendous strides in that short amount of time. And I'll guarantee you will. This is what's happening with this company, is that we will be a global real estate brokerage here in the very near future. I'm amazed. I came on when we only had, like I said, 8 or 9 states, and we're in 43 of them. That gray area to me is opportunity. If I'm an agent and I know somebody in those areas or anywhere in the country, I can introduce them to the company, and I actually earn what is called revenue share based on their production. And I'll get more into detail about that. But it's a paradigm shift on what's happening in real estate. It's breaking the old business model for most brokerages where there's, a brick and mortar office. And what we're seeing now is nobody's going into the office. And there was a great report by the National Association of Realtors that says most top producing agents don't go into the office. It's because we have technology. If we have our laptops, Wi-Fi, I can be anywhere, any place, anytime, and tapped into everything that I need and my clients at the same time. And so eXp is really kind of molded for those top producing agents that are using technology to help them streamline their real estate business. These are some of the early adapters of that cloud model for business. When we see Uber, Airbnb, Netflix, Google, Amazon. As a matter of fact, in the trends report, Stefan Swanepoel actually compares us, eXp Realty, to being an Amazon-like company, which excites us tremendously. The other thing is brick and mortar. I'm going to show you a couple of slides here, but these are very pertinent. What's happening not only in the real estate industry, but what's happening in business in general. I mean, think about this. Blockbuster. You used to get your pizza and go down to the Blockbuster, and you would be with your wife or your significant other and try and pick out a movie. And when Netflix came along and said, hey, we're going to sell movies online, everybody scoffed at that. And as a matter of fact, I think Blockbuster actually had an opportunity to invest in Netflix. But long story short, we don't see any more Blockbusters. And that's a pretty telling sign. The same thing is happening right here with Borders bookstores and other places when Amazon said, we're going to start selling books online. When we see the number of retail stores closing just this year, all these brick and mortars, there's a reason. Is because consumers as well as businesses are starting to get a mindset of, I don't need to go to a physical building to actually do business. And that's ever present, especially in the real estate industry. This is another one talking about profitability of companies that are brick and mortar. So when I say that this company is doing a paradigm shift, we literally do not have any offices that we own. Now, somebody might say, well, how do you meet your clients, or where can you go? We actually have an agreement with Regis Business Facilities. And if you're not familiar with those, these are high-end executive offices where any one of our agents, this is just part of being with eXp, can flash a card. I can go into not one office if you're with a brokerage, but for example, in the Washington, D.C. area, there's 43 of them. So the agents can go anywhere, flash a card, go in, meet clients. I can work there all day. I can do whatever I need to do. And that's just part of the fee of being with eXp Realty. So instead of having just one office, we have multiple offices with eXp. Now, the reason why this company was set up is because we realized that the biggest overhead for most brokerages and their model, their business model, is the brick and mortar. And as we see here, this is just a list of some of the expenses. There's many more, but when you start talking about a lease or mortgage, utilities, franchise fees, insurance, furniture, the list goes on, staffing, signage, that can add up to $500,000, $1 million per location. And so what we've done is we've had the ability to actually reduce that overhead by not having it. And because of that, we have increased commissions, we have revenue sharing, which I'll explain more, stock equity, more tools, and more training. So here's another look at how this is a drastically different brokerage model. All these on the left-hand side, and they're great companies. They have great agents within them. Let's just say that. But if we're looking at the business model, all these on the left-hand side are either owned by somebody or they're a franchise, which means you're paying fees to be part of that. You don't own anything with that brokerage, okay? The one on the right is actually a publicly traded company, and our agents own equity in it. And that means that at the end of the day, when I go to retire, I actually have stock in the company that I work for. I didn't have that at my previous brokerage. And it's pretty significant, guys. When you talk about trying to set up an exit strategy from real estate, most brokerages are, maybe I'm going to buy some investment properties, which you should do, but that's it. Here, you have multiple revenue streams to set up. The evolution of the brokerage models is pretty simple. Century 21 started setting up franchises in 1971. Dave Liniger did a great job by accelerating the commissions to 100% in 73. And then Gary Keller started Keller Williams. And he had the right mindset in the sense that he wanted to create some type of profit sharing with the agents. Well, what we're seeing from a number of folks that are coming from that particular brokerage is that they don't need that brick and mortar office. And there's a difference between profit share and revenue share. Profit share is pretty simple. You have money coming in and then you have to pay for all these things, and then what's left over will be divided. Revenue share is generated basically on gross commission. So if I bring somebody into the company and they sell something, I get a percentage of their gross commission until they cap every year that they're in business. And so what that does is, by not being with that type of franchise or owner or brick and mortar, is that I don't pay franchise fees, I don't have the office overhead, and I actually earn equity. Now, as far as being a cloud brokerage, a lot of companies are saying that they're cloud based, but what they do is they actually have a brick and mortar office, but they do some things in the cloud. I can say for eXp Realty, they are totally thinking out of the box, and they're doing everything from training to collaboration to their systems and processes in the cloud. This is a perfect example. We use technology to communicate unlike any other brokerage. And let's face it, technology is only good if it saves you time or makes you money. This is actually one of the ways that we meet. So think about you driving to the office and you're sitting in your car for 30 minutes and you get to the office and you have your meeting and then you go back to your house. You probably wasted a couple of hours, or I've got to turn in contracts or pick up a commission check or whatever. Our agents are able to actually tap into live meetings using our virtual space. Now, this is a truly groundbreaking, unique way of meeting, but it is actually one of our pillars for education, where we have 20 to 25 live classes every week. And so I, as an agent, if I can squeeze out 5-6 hours a week by not driving around to some office that I don't necessarily need to go to, I mean, literally, we can do everything in our cloud office that I would do in a normal office, except maybe spill coffee on somebody. As far as our support, we have on-site tech folks that are there to help out with any type of technology that you need. We have agent services for people that are coming on board to the company. We have transaction coordinators for helping you go through the process of your paperwork. We use what is called SkySlope as part of our transaction management platform, which is a high-end, wonderful application, and it integrates with zip forms. And so we really, from the start of a transaction all the way through, we have support there for the agent in every facet. As far as marketing and technology, this company is utilizing, 9 out of 10 buyers and sellers go to the internet looking for information, home information, and that's really the mindset of everybody here at eXp Realty is, how do I optimize my digital footprint, and how do I help my clients and actually attract buyers and sellers online? Recently, we just hired Mitch Robinson from Zillow, who came on as our director of marketing. And so we couldn't be more excited to be attracting these types of high quality executives. And there's a reason why they're coming to eXp Realty, is because I believe they think that this is the model of the future. And when I say model of the future, it's actually happening right now, but we're just scratching the surface. Education is a vital component to real estate, whether you're a brand new agent or whether you're, a rainmaker with multiple team members across multiple states. eXp Realty has 20 to 25 live classes every week. These are live classes, and they're recorded, so you can go back and watch them. But they have everything from I've got a lead, what do I do now, to all the way up to I've got a team, how do I run it, what is the best management accounting system that I can use, etc., for those high-end teams, and everything in between. And as I mentioned, Brad Anderson, who heads up our training and business development, came over from Zillow. So when I talk about top executives across the country that are coming to eXp Realty, there's a reason, because they see this as the business model of the future for real estate. And then when we talk about additional training, we're already getting mastermind groups breaking out across the country. And the unique thing about us being a cloud-based brokerage is that if we have somebody who's absolutely fantastic in social media marketing on Instagram in California, or we have somebody who's excellent at REO properties in Florida, we all get to benefit. And because of our cloud office, we don't have any boundaries. We're able to utilize and share and collaborate unlike any other brokerage. As far as branding, this company is agent-centric. So we want you to brand your particular business, not the companies. And, we find that, I think, again, the NAR statistics show that most consumers only pick their real estate agent based, I think it's 3% on the actual brokerage model. We want you to focus in on your branding. Now, obviously, you have to adhere to the state local advertising guidelines, but we allow our agents a wide latitude, whatever's allowed in your particular area, to brand your logo, your name, your particular brand to your clients. We also are starting to branch out into luxury, commercial, and REO, where we understand that we're attracting agents that are coming all over the country that are, selling multi-million-dollar homes. So we actually have a unique group that's coming together to form a unique luxury group where they'll share ideas, they'll collaborate on ways that they're marketing their properties. And as I mentioned, this company will be a major force in each of those areas. One of the unique things about eXp Realty, on top of all the other things that I've said, is we're able to give our agents unique tools that they probably couldn't get in other brokerages. For example, every agent at eXp Realty right now gets a conversion or a sync, Commissions Inc. website. Excuse me. Now, for those of you who don't know, these are high-powered lead generation websites. They are the Ferrari of real estate websites for agents and brokers. They have a CRM, there's an IDX, There's a lead capture capability, drip campaign, texting, landing pages. If you were to go and buy these, I think that price is probably incorrect. I think it's higher at this point, probably $500, if not more, per month to get a site of this nature. Every agent at eXp Realty gets these sites for their low $50 a month tech fee. That's it. And so I'm going to skip through a couple of things here, but what I want to do is get to the actual nuts and bolts of this company. And so what we have here is, if you were to come on board, it's $99 to start up. That would get you some business cards and folders. All you pay is $50 a month. Okay, so you're here 3 months, you haven't sold anything, it's $50 a month. Upon your first sale, we have what is called a tuition fee, $420. And the way we work is it's an anniversary date. So if you came on September 1st, that's your anniversary date. And what happens is everybody at the company starts out at an 80-20 split. Okay, now just stopping right there, somebody might say, well, that doesn't sound that great. Well, I actually came from a 100% model. Okay, I had to pay a monthly fee, but I had 100% of my commission. But what you don't take into consideration, just in the actual commission part, is that I had to pay for my website, hosting, IDX, CRM system, all these things that added up actually to thousands of dollars over the course of the year we get for $50. So that's the first thing. It's an 80-20 split. Once you've hit $80,000 in gross commission, GCI, which is a $16,000 cap, you immediately go to 100%. On the left-hand side here, there's only a $25 broker review fee and $30 E&O insurance, which is capped, and that's when you're in an 80-20 split. As soon as you go to 100%, the only thing that changes is there's a $250 transaction fee. Now, this is where it's drastically different. If you were to say right there, for me, when I came on board from my previous brokerage with the big balloon, and when I did the math, just this part right here, I actually netted more in my business. And I got a lead generation website, which I didn't have. And that's just right here, but it was fairly close. But here's where this model just starts to take a leaps and bounds ahead of all the other brokerage models. Many of you are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, where you have a job, you own a job, you have a system, and then money works for you. Most real estate agents are in this category here of E. Okay, they're on the left-hand side, or they're a self-employed. They might have their own brokerage, and they're working their fingers to the bone. And once they stop selling, that's pretty much it. They're not going to get any other type of income. And especially in E, I would probably say 99% of those agents that are out there in the field have no real exit strategy. I mean, once they're done selling real estate, that's it. They're not going to get any equity in the company. They're not going to have any type of residual income. Well, what we've seen here over the last couple of years are companies that are trying to have a system that works for the agent. And you're seeing it by these different models, i.e. There's one, with KW that actually has a profit share model. Well, eXp Realty's revenue share model is one where nobody gets in the way of what you can earn. Nobody determines what the profit is. It's purely calculated on gross commission. And what we're seeing across the country is that agents get so excited about what's going on that they introduce somebody to the company, and all of a sudden they realize that they're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 just by introducing a couple of people to the company, something that they never received before in their previous brokerage. And it's very significant. we have some agents that are making thousands of dollars. And so this company is really kind of positioned itself for, if I'm a brand new agent or if I'm a single agent, not a problem. I can actually work the system. If I want to have a small team, you can set up a team agreement. If I want to actually bring my brokerage over, we have a number of brokers across the country that are actually migrating their company over to eXp so they can get rid of compliance issues and accounting and all the overhead and having the responsibility of training. They're just migrating it right into eXp's model. And then we have some folks that are actually doing agent attraction around the country, where they're introducing their friends that they've met in the real estate industry, to eXp Realty and getting paid significant money on the revenue share. So was saying that this is a calculator and on revenue share. I'm going to actually skip to, this is the actual spreadsheet on what is revenue share. And it's fairly simple. That first line is, if I introduce somebody to the company, and we've got some agents that have introduced 50 people to the company. They get so excited. And by the way, you're not required to bring anybody on. It's just if you really believe in the company, which obviously we have a number of our agents that do, because our company is exploding. But you bring them on, you get a percentage of their gross commission until they cap. So for that front line, it's $2,800. I could bring on 10 people, which means I can make $28,000, provided that they're, agents that cap. Now, here's the unique thing about this, is that this revenue share model goes 7 layers deep. So if I introduce people on this front level here, I want to help those people underneath them do the exact same thing by building their exit strategy. And by doing that, I have the potential to earn money on that second row. So if I bring somebody in and then they bring somebody in, I can actually earn up to $3,200 per individual, per agent in the revenue share model. And guess what? You're only at the second level. It's a powerful, powerful business model. And the reason that we're able to do this is pure and simple, guys. It's this right here. We don't have all of this overhead that most brokerages have. And because of that, we're able to actually put the money back into the agent's pockets. That's exactly what it is. And it's not a matter of, there's smoke and mirrors here. This is only generated based on agents selling homes. Okay, so this revenue share model is based on production, on what's sold. So we have some agents here that are, as I mentioned, earning thousands of dollars every month just by introducing people to the company. And guess what? When they stop selling real estate, they get to keep their revenue share plan. So say 10 years down the road, when most agents are going to be checking out and, they're not going to get anything. They're going to get a pat on the back and say thanks. Our agents, the ones that have capitalized and utilized this, will be getting checks every month from their revenue share plan. Powerful. But there's more. Since we mentioned that this company is an actual publicly traded company, we're going through a process where agents right now actually can earn stock in the company just by their actions, by their first closing, by capping, by actually bringing a recruit on, and that recruit sells something. Our agents actually earn stock in the company. And that stock, is, if I always get excited when we're compared to Amazon. If you hold on to that stock and that equity with the company and you grow with it and you see the direction of where this company is going, again, with that revenue share, you've created a real retirement exit strategy that no other brokerage out there can offer you. I'll guarantee that. This is actually what our agents are earning right now. When we were only at 1,000 agents, we would have 100 shares of stock, 750 for when you capped, and 750 when you actually brought somebody on and they sold something. We're in the 4,000 to 6,000 range, which means that as soon as we get to 16,000 agents, this part of actually giving stock will be turned off. Now we're compensating those folks that are coming on early, but it's happening very quickly, guys. I mean, this company will probably double in the next 6 months. and I don't say that lightly, is that agents across the country are tired of paying for big fancy offices, leather couches, things that they don't use, offices that they never come into, and they have no ownership, either equity-wise or with revenue share. So with saying that, we're not going to make this a long presentation today, but if you're an agent or a broker, you're watching this, I put in the chat session here, go back to the person that may have introduced you to this webinar and talk to them. Ask them to put together numbers on what it's like to come aboard eXp, what your potential is on coming to eXp. If nobody introduced you and you just received an invitation, you can certainly reach out to me at David Harbour at david.harbour@exprealty.com. There's a phone number, 703-928-1899, or you can go to bestbrokeragemodel.com. But we are in a dynamic growth phase. And for those that are willing to take that leap of faith on a company that is exploding, I'll guarantee you, you will benefit from it. A lot of folks say, well, I haven't quite heard of you guys yet. You know what? There's a lot of companies that just started out. As I point to the Remaxes of the world or the Keller Williams, they also were new companies that just started out, and now they were at one time the biggest in the world. I believe humbly that this company is headed towards that we are the next paradigm shift for real estate brokerages. With today's technology, today's mindset for consumers and agents, this is a logical progression for your real estate professional career. So we would love the opportunity to talk with you. We would love the opportunity to show you more in detail and actually show you our cloud office and show you why agents across the country are coming to this brokerage. So with saying that, if there's any questions that we have, I don't see any coming up right now, give us a call. Like I said, if somebody invited you to today's webinar, take the next step. You owe it to yourself. When I say that it won't hurt you to check us out, it'll actually hurt you if you don't. Because I think once you actually, and we as real estate professionals get caught up in logos and colors and have this mindset that I must be with this brokerage in order for consumers to want to work with me. That's malarkey. Okay, we as agents and brokers have that mindset, but consumers don't. As I mentioned before, NAR, I think it's less than 3% of consumers really choose their agents based on their brokerage. They choose it because of you. We just happen to be what I think is the most dynamic business model for real estate agents today. It allows you to actually create a real business, whether you're an agent, whether you're a team, whether you're looking to go multi-state or multinational. So I want to thank you for your time. We are going to be doing these on a regular basis, but If you have any additional questions, reach out to the person that sent you, or you can reach out to me personally. I look forward to talking with you. Have a great day.